Hello and welcome to day 137 in this quest for a 2000 rapid chess rating on chess.com. Okay, let's find an opponent and begin here. What rating will our opponent be? Let's see here. And it's taking a little while to search out an opponent. Okay, a 1560 player, and they start off with e4. We will do the Caro-Kann. All right, so they attack. So we kind of have like an exchange variation here. Now they check immediately. So, what do we want to do? We'll block with our knight here, and then we can maybe chase this away. All right, well, we might as well just develop and protect here. Now, I guess they could have jumped in with their other knight and added pressure here. Okay, should we pin this knight? That is the question. Do we pin that knight? Probably. Want to pin the knight, then bring our pawn up here so our bishop is outside the pawn chain. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right. Well, now what? We can go there. Okay. And then, do we confront here? Do we really want to trade that piece off? Could get rid of his bishop pair, so maybe that would be a good plan. So we'll go ahead and do that. And maybe we want to go here. We could just pick off this knight and wreck the kingside pawns. But then that would leave this kind of open. So, do we want to deal with that? Yeah, let's get rid of that pawn, or that bishop, because it's a bad bishop blocked in by all these pawns here. Okay. So now we can go ahead and fork here, targeting both of these. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right. All right, so now maybe, well, do we go after the pawn and attack the queen? But then where does that knight go? Where does this knight actually go here if the queen attacks it? It's kind of trapped, maybe going to the edge. So I'm thinking we go here and open up the king's or the queen side here where our opponent's king is. Oh, that is interesting. That is very interesting, that move. Okay, that can't be good, can it? Do we bring a rook over and pin that? The king can just move to the edge there. But then maybe we can pin this way too. All right, yeah, this can't be good for our opponent. So, the most obvious move is just to go here. Now, I really need to take a look at this other option here of the queen swinging up here, threatening to capture this. If the rook pins like that, that seems to be best, but then the king can just move. So then if we pin this way, All right, we should probably take this open file, but I don't know. Maybe we want to leave this rook here. We could pin this way. Then he could just attack us. So if we go here, maybe that would be best. And we should try and develop this bishop. So, what is our option? Now I'm just burning up a lot of time here. So, all right, we're just wasting too much time. So we'll pin, and then maybe we can pin again to the queen. Let's see. We go there. Well, now we could possibly just attack here. If we let them capture this, we can attack. Maybe we attack the bishop. Maybe we attack the bishop. All right, a lot to think about here. Do we let this pawn fall? And do we go after a potential attack here? Do we take time out to knight to h5, targeting this? Maybe. What if he goes here? All right, I need to figure out how to get in an attack. All right, should probably attack this knight. Let's go ahead and attack that knight. Huh. What is that move all about? What is that move all about? Okay. Well, we could just go and attack the bishop there. Man, this is a little tricky game here. Okay. Well, probably we should just capture here and target the queen. Where would the queen go? Here. Then what? Do we have a follow-up? We target here. Then we threaten an attack again. All right, so he decides to do that. Now that will allow us to attack this way. So the queen is under attack. Okay, now he's lining up on my king. So, do we go here with our knight now? Get the knight into the game? I think so. I think that would be a good move. But do we have anything better? Let's take a quick look here. Do we want to jump our... I don't know, I'm thinking this knight move is best. We go here. Do we go here maybe? go right here with our queen. Probably, maybe that would be best centralized. Well, we have to watch out because this, if he puts a rook over here and it's protecting. All right. So if we move here and attack, if he goes there attacking, we could attack. We need to find a way to check though. What if we go here? Threaten to come up here. Is that too slow? All right, I don't know. Things are not so bad, right now. Maybe, well, probably need to bring this knight up into the center. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's attack. Now the knight can threaten these forks up here, forking the king and the queen and all of that. Okay. Well, now we could go here, and then we have that fork threat, and I don't know if they can stop all that. Huh. All right, let's do that. We'll threaten the fork with our knight now. Okay. Interesting. What is the best path here? Probably just move our king up. Well, we might as well fork. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll just fork the king. That's a pretty good move because now this king is in big trouble because of this bishop here. And yeah, they just resign because the king has to move. We pick off the queen. And where does the king move? If the king moves here, there's a discovered attack. If the king moves here, there's a discovered attack by the bishop. So, interesting game. We'll do a game review here. All right, so it looks like I played at 85.1% accuracy versus their 70.5. It says you saw your chance for the win and you took it. All right, so the game was kind of even in the beginning, and then black had a slight edge, and then something happened here where white regained the lead and then dropped it big time. So we'll have to see what that is, until in the end they were just in trouble, white was. Okay, so it looks like they had one great move, I had two. For the bad moves, 2 inaccuracies for my opponent, I had 1. We each had 1 mistake. They had 1 missed opportunity. Oh, and we each had 1 blunder. So we'll have to see what those blunders were. And my opponent played at a 1250 level and I played at 2100 level, which you can't see. I don't know why. It's kind of covered. I could try this and then see, and then maybe you can see what's under here. It looks like 1250 for my opponent, 2100 for me. So let me put that back down here. And then we'll continue. All right, so opening. My opponent played 72.9% accuracy in the opening versus my 83.8. Middle game, 65.1 for them versus 86.1 for me, and we didn't make it into an end game. Okay, quick review, and then we'll dig into some analysis, which you should stick around for the game review and analysis because you can see what was really happening in the game. And I recommend, if you get a chance, analyze your own games to see what you could have done better. So the first mistake here, looks like we have a mistake with this queen move. Queen to d2. Why is that a mistake? I guess it lets me capture this knight and break these pawns up, maybe. What else is possible? Well, we'll take a look at that in the analysis. So the best move would have been to just capture my knight here. But then I could have, recaptured and fortified this central pawn. So now, this was a blunder. So apparently I had a blunder here. I should have immediately captured this knight. Why is this a blunder? Well, I guess they could capture. Then the knight could jump in and threaten a fork here. What do I do about that? Well, another thing. So we'll have some interesting moves to look at when I dig into the analysis. So even with that blunder, it's like a 0.85 advantage for white, but they missed their opportunity here. Instead, it wanted them to capture here with the knight. And then if I recapture, their bishop could capture and pin this knight, and then maybe the queen tries to come in there to help. Anyway, a lot to look at there. But now, after this, it says this is a great move. I don't know if it was great, but it does wreck the pawns over here. So then we're able to fork, capture. It did not like that. It said I should immediately have pinned here. So they said that was a great move. Well, obviously, they want to get out of the line of fire here because I could pin this knight with the rook and pin the knight to the king and attack with the pawn and pick that knight off. So they're pretty much forced to move over here. Okay, now we pin. They should have immediately attacked, but they blundered here going after this pawn. So here we're able to pin the knight with our bishop to the queen and attack with the pawn, which the computer says is a great move. So we capture, and now we kind of gain the initiative here. So we're pretty much, what did it say here? So this is where they just resign on move 21. It says that's the best move. So let's take a look here at the analysis and see what we can really learn from these positions here. All right, so e4, a good opening first move. Usually if you like tactics and attacking, e4 is a little bit better than d4, which d4 usually leads to more positional solid games, but not always. You can almost steer any opening into being passive or more tactical depending how you play. So knight to f3 here, a little different way to play the Caro-Kann. So a lot of times they'll just play d4, grabbing the center, but it seems like lately more people are bringing their knights out in the Caro-Kann. So we just continue with d5, attacking their central pawn. So capture, recapture, and now bishop to b5, which it says is an excellent move, but now the game is just even. d4 would probably have been a little bit better. And it looks like bishop to d7 is the best way to go here. But I wanted to keep the bishop pair, So instead I play this. It says this is still good, but not as good as bishop to d7, because bishop to d7 would immediately attack their bishop, forcing them to make a decision to defend the bishop or exchange. And if they do that, that would help me develop my queen. So yeah, maybe it would have been better to play bishop to d7. So now they develop attacking my pawn. So I develop and protect, although bishop to g4 immediately is preferred, because the queen is already doing a job of protecting here. And now they could jump in here maybe with this move, knight to e5, adding pressure on this. I would be forced to go here. Well, maybe not. Maybe I could bring my queen over. Anyway, the game progressed with d3, although now they want h3, so I can't pin this knight. So I attack. We have a retreat of the bishop, which is probably good, keeping the pin, keeping your bishop pair. And so we pin their knight here, although e6 would have been better. Apparently they like e6, which would have blocked in my light squared bishop. And now an inaccuracy. Bishop to f4. h3 immediately forcing me to decide what to do with this bishop would have been better. So bishop to f4. I play an inaccuracy here with e6. Apparently I should have immediately just kept attacking the bishop here. So here we have a mistake. Queen to d2. Now I should immediately capture the knight, because otherwise that knight could go here. So yeah, I kind of overlooked that. I should have immediately captured here. Now what should they have done? Instead of queen to d2, the computer likes this immediate capture here. Capture, then we capture. And then h3, forcing my bishop to make a decision. So queen to d2 is played, and I make a blunder here. I should have immediately attacked this knight or captured this knight. Let's see. So instead of that blunder, bishop takes f3 is best. They recommend that. Then I capture. Then they capture and their pawns are wrecked, although it does leave open lines to the king side, which is where I would probably castle, because my queen side is open, and they're probably going to castle on the queen side. So now recommendation is bishop to e7 here. All right, well, in the game we had queen to d2, then I attack the bishop. And they retreat, a missed opportunity. Instead, the recommendation is to capture. I would capture. They recapture, pinning this knight. And now the knight is under attack. So we should go here, queen to b6. Then you have knight to d4. Oh, wait, that's the wrong move. Not that move. That would be a blunder, because then we could just capture here. So, excuse me, they have to go here because this knight is pinned, and now the bishop would be protected. So, rook to c8 is forced, and then bishop captures with check. Rook captures, knight captures, queen captures, and in this position they would be ahead by 1. So yeah, I guess I misplayed that a little bit, and then they were not able to take advantage, but a stronger player probably would have noticed that. So finally I pick that knight off, and then I'm able to fork the bishop and this unprotected pawn, which is the best move. Now they castle queenside. Apparently they like king to f1 better? Huh. But it doesn't make too much of a difference. I don't know. I would prefer this move probably. Or should they try and protect this pawn if that's even possible? Anyway, I capture, and I should not have done that. That's a mistake. Bishop to b4 would have been better. So immediately pinning the knight to the queen. So bishop to e5 is recommended, forking my two knights. So here we would capture, attacking the queen, although now they prefer this move instead. Okay. Because capture, knight captures, attacking the queen. Queen to what? E3, attacking. So we trade here. And then what? I'm able to castle. So I would castle. Rook at d to g1. So these rooks stay here to start pushing this pawn and causing problems. So g6 kind of blocks this attack a little bit, so they throw this into the mix. Well, now h5 should be played, but at this point black is ahead. So if I can withstand the possible attacks here against my king, I should be all right, because I'm ahead by a pawn, I guess. All right, back to the game. We were in this position, bishop to b3, a missed opportunity. So finally I capture, wrecking the pawns, and a fork of the bishop and the pawn. I decide to get rid of their bishop pair. And interesting that that was the best move. You would think the average player would have captured towards the center and kept all their pawns consolidated, and not just opened a line up right towards their king here. So, I don't know about that move. Okay, so we line up on the king. Apparently d4 would have been better, immediately attacking the knight. But this move with the rook is still excellent. So they step off to the side. We pin here, and this was a blunder. So instead, a3 would have been best to immediately force me to make a decision here. The best thing to do would be to capture, recapture, fixing their pawns, and then what? Knight to h5, attacking this bishop. Then what do we have? Rook to c1, kind of helping fortify this in case there's a capture and the queen has to move away from the protection of this c-pawn. So here we just add more pressure. Interesting. Bishop to what? Oh, bishop to d6. That's an interesting way to go. And then, king to d7 is apparently the best move, or queen to d8. But if you go here, it immediately forces this bishop to do something here. All right. Bishop to b4. Queen takes f3. So anyway, you get the idea. The game could have progressed in this manner where black would have an edge. But we had this blunder, and that allows this great move, attacking the pinned piece. So whenever you pin a piece, if you're able to just add more pressure to the pinned piece, you may be able to capture it. So what do we have here? They capture this pawn. We capture, attacking the queen, and apparently it would have been better to capture with this pawn, but they obviously didn't want me to recapture with the bishop and open up more lines. So this still allows me to capture here, But knight to d5 apparently would be slightly better. Knight to d5 would immediately attack this unprotected piece, add more defense to this pawn. So yeah, this move would have been a little bit better. But we did end up moving that knight there later in the game. So we attack, unleashing a discovered attack by the rook on the queen. The queen captures, which is best. And now we attack the queen. Queen retreats to the side, but queen to a3 would have been better, which is kind of what I was expecting. You know, maybe an attack on this, although, you know, that could maybe lead to an attack here, but my king is kind of open, so I'd probably have to protect this. And the recommendation is to ignore that, go this way, and then rook, what, to g4? Oh, here, to protect this. So now we should play what? h5, attacking the rook. And then bishop to g5, interesting, attacking the queen. We could play f6, driving this bishop back. But the recommendation instead is to go here, threatening. Wait, that's not right. Excuse me. Let me take that back. Here, rook to e4 is best, threatening this, and you know, an attack on our king. So we should go here, guarding this, bishop up to e3. And then we could just capture, but you know, why get rid of this good knight here? And now a5, so the queen can't capture. All right. Well, what happened in the actual game? We were at this point. So if we go back, the queen was attacked by our bishop. So the queen sidesteps. We bring the knight into the game, attacking the unprotected bishop, threatening at some point to fork these pieces up here if the bishop moves. So the rook protects, and now we drop back. Apparently h5 would have been a better move. We should have just attacked the rook. Now here, bishop to e5, which, oh yeah, that would have given me a little bit more trouble maybe. Maybe not. Well, all right, let's take a look at it. If they went bishop to e5 here, then we should capture. Queen captures, targeting this. We should go king up to e7. King to e7. The queen could go here and attack us, but then I guess the knight could block, and then we wouldn't have our attack, our fork chance up here. So they recommend rook to e1. Just trying to pile up here. Anyway, it's showing that we're still ahead here because we do have the extra piece. So back to what happened in the game. Let me go back a little bit further here. So the queen had moved, knight jumps up attacking here, and then here we should have targeted this rook. So this would have been the best move. Then rook where? All the way back to here? Man, oh, you can't go here. Oh, man. Yeah, if we would have done that, then we grab this. Then we would be able to grab this bishop here, and we'd really be ahead. Okay, so a tactic that I overlooked there. All right, we drop back. They try to double up and threaten here, but this allows the attack here, this fork. Now, what is the best move? Recommended is king to c2 or c1. So let's say they go this way. We capture with a discovered check. King to d2, attacking our knight. Oh, and now we can just pick this off and get rid of any threats over here. The rook just, yeah, see, we would just be totally winning there. All right. Well, please feel free to leave comments with whatever you would like to say. Also, like and subscribe for those that haven't already. Thank you for watching and have a super chess day.